So after watching the video and scoring it together, is there anything else that you feel you might do differently, or anything else you noticed that went well?
You know, I guess when we were talking a little bit about it, I was a little bit nervous about the thinking on my feet, but that came pretty naturally. So I think that went well. Being able to kind of tie things in right away, it wasn't as hard as I thought. I caught myself knowing that I needed to be quiet. So I was happy that I had that.
Another strength.
I was happy that I had that awareness of this isn't the time. This isn't the time to start getting into the strategies and those kinds of things, but this is the time to really listen.
Okay, so any modifications to the skill set rubric? We did talk about just the fact that we're going to change it to one family. We talked about that already. But anything specifically on 1 through 6?
I don't think so. Nope. I feel like this is really good and set to go with Leticia for round number 2.
Okay, and then also just to review any modifications for any particular families or cultural differences. The ones you listed before were language and possible time differences to meet their schedules.
Definitely flexibility with time.
And then you also mentioned possibly changing a little bit of the vocabulary.
Yeah, and I think that I would be able to. I do think I'd be able to see that. There was a couple times I said something even with you, and I thought, whoa, that sounded kind of weird, but you just were like, yeah, and then I was like, well, she got it. Okay. And so I think you'd be able to see that, yeah, right. And that I might need to say it in a different way.
Okay.
It didn't really make sense, did it? Let me try that again.
Okay. And how about any modifications to meet your learning style or your teaching style for the live coaching?
I feel like I'm ready to go with Leticia. I liked having my little cheat sheet here that just kind of gave some highlights, and I didn't feel like it was intrusive. I felt like that was a really good support. I'm glad that you had done that last time, because that really gave me the idea and thought, boy, that would really be helpful, and that was really, really helpful. And I didn't feel like I was missing anything this time.
Okay, great. So I'm just quickly running through my notes here for the end of the debrief. Because I think you are really ready for the live coaching. So what we need to do last is look at our professional development plan and talk about the future implementation of this strategy, and a few details on how I can support you in that, and then confirming our next dates.
All right.
So on the professional development plan 2, it also here under objective, where it says 2 families, we'll change that to 1.
Awesome.
And we have scheduled to Oh, let me back up just a second. So for the any of the families that would need the interview in another language, or is it that you're going to speak it in another language?
No, it would be that I would have to have a translator.
Okay, and do you have those? Do you have somebody here?
We do have, we do have staff who can translate.
So that's not a challenge to get a translator?
No.
Okay.
No.
You feel like the parents would be comfortable with the translator as well?
Yes, yes. Okay. It actually is Leticia who, for every parent who would need her to be a translator, their child is also in her classroom.
Okay.
So she's very familiar, and they see her several times a year. So
good. It's
always one consistent translator, which is nice. We have a couple, but we've got that one consistent person that can kind of develop a relationship with, for lack of a better word.
Okay, so then I have on the 21st, we have the life coaching, which will consist of the brief, activity, and debrief. So this is our activity on the circuit number 5. And
I do have a question for you on that really quick.
Sure.
Because we're going to be doing our brief before it, what would be a good time for me to ask Leticia to be here? Do you think the brief, should we give it half an hour and say 4:30? Ask Leticia to be here?
You know, if you would like to have that cushion in between, a half an hour would certainly be long enough.
Okay.
And I don't think that the brief will take a half an hour, but that's up to you.
Okay.
So what would you prefer?
I will tell her 4:30, and then I'll say that I'll come in and get her. If it ends up being earlier, ask her if that'll be a possibility. And if not, then I'll just wait till 4:30.
Okay. And as we know, there's things that happen sometimes. You know that we notice. Oh, that took a little bit longer than we thought before. Okay. So that sounds good. And then debrief following that. Right after that. Let's see. And then for the peer-to-peer,
it's going to be Emily. I've asked her and she said yes.
And so I'm involved in the brief on that, which is scheduled for 4 o'clock. And then the actual peer-to-peer, I will not be there, and you will not have to videotape that.
Okay. But
then we will debrief on the 6th. So brief on the 27th and debrief on the 6th. And did you choose a day and a time for the actual brief?
It is going to be on Friday the 1st.
Okay. Do you have a time?
I do not have a specific time.
Okay. Do you have any specific celebrations that you'd like to talk about?
Celebrations.
Of our process so far?
We are getting so close to the end of this first circuit.
I know,
Cindy.
I know.
And these last two little pieces of this, I felt went really fast and smooth, you know? It's like we're getting the hang of it.
Yeah, and I appreciated like the last time when we had a choice, you said, no, let's just get it done. It went a little bit later, but let's just get it done.
Time to plug away.
And that felt so good, especially getting everything turned in that I needed to get turned in. That felt really, really good. So, all right, thank you. And we'll just keep on keeping on.
Awesome.
Great.
All right, I think we're probably right where that's about to cut off. We're just finishing. Thanks. Yeah, you can lock this in, and you can grab the side door. Thank you.
I was like, I don't know if they're